Well, here we go again, ladies and gentlemen. It's another day in the life of the media and some politicians who believe this is Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day, in a sense that if all the world's problems are because of Israel. Yes, once again, ladies and gentlemen, the media loves to paint Israel as the aggressor, as the one who started the war, as the one who's causing all the world's angst. It isn't forgotten, right, that Iranian proxies, the Houthis, Hezbollah, Hamas, even from Iraq, and even Iran itself, has been firing rockets at Israel since October 7, 2023. But that doesn't mean that's the cause of a war. That shouldn't mean Israel shouldn't protect herself. But the media wants to tell you that Israel started this war, that Israel's killed hundreds of Iranians. But do you know if they're military folks? If they're, heads of the snake that have been near the Ayatollah Khamenei? Or what are they? But the media doesn't want to help you in this case, nor does the media want to tell you, by the way, that all of the rockets being fired at Israel are not, repeat, not at military, but it's civilians and civilian installations. Why should we be surprised? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Ren Network. I am David Solomon. The guy to my left, that's Stuart Brisgell. We do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, noon Eastern, this unedited, uncensored, unfiltered, and unapologetic rant, what we call the Ren Network. News, politics, quirks of modern life, it's all thrown in there, folks. It's a melting pot of crap that we all have been living in since we've been doing this since for the last 5 years. So sit back, take it easy, reflect, as we get into this ridiculousness that is the left, the media, some politicians even, who've decided that the whole world's problems are Israel's. So, Stuart, started off like that. I'm going to come to you, my friend.
If you saw Ilan Omar, that Sudan Arab terrorist.
She's not Arab.
I know she's not. I just feel like, I call her an Arab terrorist because she actually promotes hatred. She is an Arab terrorist in my mind because she promotes the hatred towards Jews and Israel around the world. And she uses her pulpit to spew hate when her own country is up in smoke. This isn't about her, though, but it's about people like her. The supreme leader of the banana republic called Iran, Khamenei, warned the world at 10 o'clock last night we were going to see the might of the Iranian army. I think there's a sound for that. David, you hear that?
Loud and clear.
Okay, David, crickets around the world. Khamenei warns the American government that it will have serious consequences. This is now the 6th day of Israel going for the head of the snake. Now, did Israel attack Iran, or has Iran been attacking Israel since the 70s? Ask yourself that question, David. Khamenei and his cronies have been attacking the land of Israel, sponsoring massacres around the world for decades. Yet Israel is attacking Iran. Now, world, I've got some good news for you. Israel is defending the world at her own expense, at her people's expense. Why do I come to you and say this? They took out Syria and their nuclear ambitions. They took out Iraq and their nuclear ambitions. And today is the 6th day of liberation for the people of Iran. Brought to you by the Jewish people, the little Satan in Khamenei's life. And it's kind of funny. When the people of Iran need to be liberated, Israel is still looked at being the bad guy. Serious consequences. When you see Putin and the president of UAE urging a conflict to end from the Kremlin, I don't know if you know this, David, they recently just got together. President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan basically said there needs to be an end to this war. Wow. You know, the people chiming in on this is absolutely insane. Meanwhile, as superiority in the air is clearly on the Israeli side, the U.S. give an ultimatum to Khamenei. Your unconditional what, David? What is it? Unconditional what?
Surrender.
Now, what moron, unless they were literally a death cult, want to go against the world? A death cult that's being supported by the likes of a Amar, the likes of the Squad, the Bernie Sanders of the world, the AOCs of the world. And they exist in Canada, United States, England, France, Germany. But Israel isn't going to stop this time. I believe the U.S. are going to go in and start launching bunker busters and destroy their infrastructure for nuclear weapons alongside its ally, the only democratic country in the Middle East. So while we celebrate LGBTQIA month in the United States and in Canada, and those that support Free Palestine, I would like you to pay very close attention to what is right and what is wrong. Khamenei is wrong. He's the head of the snake. The people need to uprise and rid themselves of someone that has repressing, murdering its people. For what, David, 50 years? How long have the regime been in power?
Since 1979.
1979. You have the 80s, the 90s, 2000. You got 40 years of a tyrant and people like tyrants. I hope and pray Israel has the fortitude and strength to aid the people of Iran to uprise and take the head of the snake and do like they did to Saddam Hussein, parade him in the street until his death. Because at this point, I don't think Khamenei has any other options. David, do you?
Stuart, I think Khamenei is, I mean, I don't know why you're surprised, because Khamenei, Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, it's fighting till death. And the people that you're supposedly protecting, as I put this in air quotes for those who are not watching us, they're collateral damage. They're part of the revolution. They're part of the
death cult.
They're part of the death cult. They're part of the vision of Judenreich, like no more Jews in the world. This is what they're believing in. Stuart, Douglas Murray wrote in his recent book about death cults. He calls them a death cult. He basically has said that this is a Nazi-like regime. He goes, Nazism is survived in the Middle East. It's the only area where it has survived since World War II and paraded and applauded. And part of it is genocidal mentality. It's part of the
maniacs.
Are the maniacs. But let me sidetrack a little bit. I'm talking a little bit about what people are ignoring. So Iran is trying to eliminate the Jews, right? Because we want a free Palestine. We wanted this, we wanted that. But are they really caring about the people in that region? The answer is no. And I'll give you an example. The town of Tamra, which is an Arab city in the north of Israel. One of the missiles fell there, killing a man and two women and a daughter and a young girl. 3 women and a girl were killed. I'm sorry, in the 2-story home in Tamra. Okay? Arab village. Indiscriminate. Doesn't matter. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about the 24 killed and a couple hundred who have been injured in Israel as rockets were fired in civilian areas, including Tel Aviv. Oh, and by the way, air raid sirens firing in Jerusalem, which is supposed to be one of the Muslim holy sites. Really? What are we protecting? And oh, by the way, The call for Israel's death also includes Palestinians. Yes, we talked about this on Monday. Simply put, you drop a couple of nukes in that area and you're wiping out the entire Palestinian people. Again, collateral for the cause.
Correct.
So really, who are we protecting here? And
Ah.
what are we freeing here? And what are we talking about here? So all of a sudden, some politicians' tunes have changed. Okay. Yes, Macron tried to play the game that Trump called him out on, said, I'm not going for ceasefire. You're full of shit. Okay. Even the Italian prime minister rolled her eyes at how stupid Macron is. But the crazy thing is that Macron has a problem in his country, as
Yes.
Germany, as does England, as does Canada. We have a problem with this open immigration policy that they wanted to have. Now has a swath of all of these protesters, these criminals, these people who are causing angst, the people who are causing problems in the streets, where people are shooting at religious institutions and are firebombing institutions. And now they're going, oh no, now it's Iran. The difference in this case, Stuart, hold on. The difference in this case is when you talk to real Persians, people who've ran away from this regime, as you called it, this 46-year regime of hate, okay, this Islamic fundamentalists who assassinate, I'll repeat the word, assassinate women who don't cover their hair properly, who refuse to allow protesters, who cut off the internet last week, Stuart, because they didn't want real news to be distributed. These are the people that you're telling you have to suffer with this regime. The people who've run away want to get rid of this regime. This is the reality, Stuart, of what's going on there that no one wants to talk about. Nobody wants to talk about the fact that, yeah, the Shah of Iran, full of problems. There's no doubt. His son is still alive, Stuart. His son is the heir to the throne in Iran. And there are Persians around the world calling for him to be installed as the new leader, to get rid of these fundamentalists. But no, we won't talk about that because left-leaning media can't admit they got it all wrong.
100%.
Left-leaning politicians can't get it wrong. And when Ilhan Omar, by the way, whom you could tell, like, you can't give her any credibility, Stuart, because she stood up and said, America's a terrible place to be in. So why are you there?
I agree.
Okay, go back to Sudan where you'll be beaten up, treated like, put in the kitchen and in the bedroom like all the other women, treated that way because America's a bad place. So she's, to me, no credibility. Not her, not Rashida Tlaib, not AOC, not, Cory Bush. None of them matter, Stuart, because at the end of the day, here's what really does matter. Donald Trump's finger is on a button. Go or no go. Blow up the Fardo nuclear facility or no go. Help Israel refuel in the air so she can continue bombarding. Yes or no? Yes, Khamenei has been threatening. Stuart, you know what a threat without backing up is? Words.
Yeah.
Words. Right now, Israel has destroyed a majority of their facilities and installations and missile batteries and all the rest of that. What do they have left? Really? Iran has been talk. They said this months ago when they attacked Israel with hundreds of missiles. It'll be the end of Israel. No, it wasn't. Nothing Iran has said has come true when it comes to Israel. So, frankly, Stuart, this.
David, I'm going to leave you with this. I want the world to understand that we've given the Palestinian people over the last 3 decades $41 billion of international aid only through the OECD. And you know what they did with that money, David? They added it to the death cult and continued to try and promote hate. Now we're at the crossroads. And Khamenei is in sight of all parties. May the people of Iran rise up and end Khamenei once and for all and install a more moderate government that chooses to make peace with its neighbors and take care of its people before trying to build war.
I got news for you. When Russia and China are behind and saying things, and by the way, just FYI, notice that Russia and China both are economic allies, trade allies, not defense allies, right? Russia hasn't sent anything, excuse me, to defend Iran. Neither has China. But they
That we
both, but they both have spoken up. It's time to end this war because Iran is a good client, a rich client, and they don't want to lose that. And for Putin, while oil prices go up, that means good things for Iran, for him. And while we continue these type of things, he's happy. He wants to get on the world stage to be, relevant again. And China wants to be relevant on the world stage. They're the ones, the purveyor of peace. So watch as the geopolitics, the chess pieces move, Stuart. Watch as things move around over the next few days. But the reality is that Donald Trump has given Benjamin Netanyahu a massive green light. Go and finish them off. Because since 2000, early 2010s, I don't remember if it was 10 or 11 or 12, I can't remember what it was, Donald Trump has said Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. He's been consistent on that message. Of all of his messages, it's one of his most consistent. And now the realization is there. And now by allying the people in the region, God knows what he promised them. But here's the deal. As long as Israeli jets fly unabated towards Iran and Jordan and Syria and Saudi Arabia take down the missiles that are being fired at them, we know where the right is and not where the wrong is. Stuart, last word to you, my friend.
Last word is, hey, hey, ho, ho, Khomeini has got to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just wish that all of their friends and family who are in Israel right now, who want to come home and who are there, are safe and sound, and are unfortunately they have to be near shelters all the time. So we wish them